Let me ask you something. How do you usually start your mornings? Is it with a slice of toast and a hot cup of coffee? Maybe a bowl of cereal with some fruit on top? Something light and easy, right? You've been doing it for years, maybe even decades. It feels like a routine. It's simple, familiar, and comforting. But, what if I told you that one of these everyday breakfasts might be silently draining your strength, weakening your muscles bit by bit, without you even noticing? I know that might sound surprising. After all, how harmful can a little cereal or toast be, right? You're not eating junk food, you're not skipping meals, you're just keeping things light. But here's the truth, some of the most common breakfast choices among older adults, the ones we trust the most, could be doing us more harm than good. Not because they're poisonous, not because they're bad in the traditional sense, but because they're missing what your aging body truly needs first thing in the morning. And as we get older, we can't afford to ignore this anymore. You see, muscle strength isn't just about lifting things or staying active, it's about protecting your independence, your balance, your ability to get out of a chair without struggling, your confidence to take a walk without fear of falling. Muscle loss doesn't happen overnight, it sneaks up slowly. But it starts with tiny habits, like what you put on your breakfast plate. This is why it matters. Because when your legs feel a little weaker, or your arms tire out a little faster, or you find yourself sitting down more than you used to, that's not just age. That could be your morning routine quietly working against you. In this video, we're going to uncover the worst breakfast choice that many seniors eat every day without thinking twice, and why it may be robbing you of the strength you've worked so hard to keep. We'll talk about the science behind it, the myths around what's healthy, and what you can do instead to keep your muscles strong, your energy up, and your mornings working for you, not against you. So, if you care about staying active, staying balanced, and feeling like yourself for as long as possible, you're going to want to hear this. Comment "strong start" down below if you're ready to learn how to fuel your mornings the right way. And don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide, because every day, we share simple, powerful tips to help you take control of your health and live fully in your golden years. Let's begin with one of the biggest culprits that quietly chips away at your strength every single day, skipping protein in the morning. I want you to picture someone like Helen. She's 74, sharp as ever, and likes to keep things simple. Every morning, she has her routine: warm tea, 2 slices of toast, maybe a bit of jam, and then she's off to her day. She says heavy breakfasts slow her down, so she keeps it light. But lately, Helen's been noticing something. Her legs feel shaky after walking around the kitchen. She has to grip the counter more often. Standing for too long feels like running a mile. She brushes it off as just getting older. But here's the truth. It's not just age. It's what her body's not getting. You see, after we hit 60, our bodies change. One of the biggest shifts is how we process protein. In our younger years, our muscles bounced back quickly, even with just a little bit of fuel. But as we age, our ability to use protein for muscle repair and maintenance declines. That means we actually need more of it, especially in the morning when the body is coming off a long overnight fast. When breakfast is just toast and tea, light, carb-heavy, and lacking in protein, your muscles start the day at a deficit. And over time, that deficit adds up. That's when you start noticing little things: trouble standing up, feeling unstable on stairs, arms that tire quicker when lifting a bag of groceries. It's not always aging, sometimes, it's just underfueling. And yet, the most common belief among seniors? Oh, I don't need much for breakfast. Or, a light meal is healthier. It sounds logical. But for someone in their 60s, 70s, or 80s, a light, low-protein breakfast can do more harm than good. It doesn't give your muscles what they desperately need to stay strong, especially when they're already working harder to keep you moving. But here's the good news: you don't need to overhaul your entire morning routine to make a difference. Just adding a source of protein, something small but meaningful, can change everything. A couple of scrambled eggs, a scoop of Greek yogurt, even a handful of nuts with your toast, or a protein smoothie that's easy to drink and gentle on your stomach. You're not aiming for a bodybuilder's breakfast, you're aiming to give your muscles the support they need to keep doing what they've always done, carry you through life. And once you start giving your body that protein first thing in the morning, you'll likely notice something unexpected. Not just more strength, but better balance, steadier steps, and energy that doesn't fizzle out by noon. But protein is only one piece of the puzzle. There's another common breakfast choice that feels healthy, even comforting, but it can quietly drain your energy and leave you feeling worn down before the day even begins, relying on sugary cereals and granola. Take John, for example. He's 69 and pretty health conscious. Every morning, he pours himself a generous bowl of bran cereal, slices up a banana, adds a splash of skim milk, and feels good about it. It's high fiber, he says. Heart healthy. Keeps me regular. And on paper, it sounds like a smart choice. But by mid-morning, John's running out of steam. His arms feel heavy, his legs a little stiff, and instead of taking that walk he planned, he ends up on the couch, too tired to move. What's going on? It all comes down to something hidden in plain sight. Sugar. You see, even cereals that are labeled as whole grain, bran, or natural often contain more sugar than a dessert. Granola, in particular, is one of the sneakiest culprits. A tiny serving can pack a huge amount of added sugars, especially the ones with honey clusters, dried fruits, and flavor coatings. What that sugar does is spike your blood sugar quickly. You feel good for a little while, alert, energized, but then comes the crash. That dip in energy doesn't just make you feel sleepy. It zaps your motivation to move. It pulls you away from the light exercise and steady activity that help preserve your muscle. And over time, that morning crash becomes a pattern that can speed up physical decline without you ever making the connection. The truth is, many older adults are told that cereal is a healthy choice, as long as it's whole grain. But the packaging is often misleading. Heart Smart, natural energy, made with oats. All while hiding 10, 12, even 15 grams of sugar in a single serving. And that's if you stick to the serving size, which, let's be honest, is usually smaller than what ends up in the bowl. So, what should you do instead? You don't have to give up the idea of a quick, easy breakfast. But instead of a sugar-loaded cereal, try something that gives your body lasting fuel, a bowl of plain oatmeal with a sprinkle of chia seeds and a few crushed nuts. Or plain Greek yogurt with some berries. Not the kind that comes pre-sweetened in a little plastic cup, but the kind you can sweeten yourself. These choices still feel familiar, still taste great, but they don't spike your blood sugar and leave you drained an hour later. And when your energy stays steady, guess what? You move more. You walk further. You do the little things that keep your muscles engaged, without even realizing it. But sugary cereals aren't the only silent muscle killers out there. There's another mistake many seniors make, especially those trying to eat light or watch their weight. And this one often goes completely unnoticed. It's a breakfast habit that might look picture-perfect on the outside, colorful, refreshing, even virtuous, but underneath, it could be quietly chipping away at your strength day by day. Margaret, 76, decided it was time to make a healthy change. She wanted to lose a little weight and take better care of herself. So she swapped out her usual breakfast for something lighter, a bowl of fruit. Slices of melon, some berries, maybe a few grapes. It's natural, it's clean, it's low-calorie, she told herself. And at first, it felt great. But after a few months, she began to notice something unsettling. Her clothes felt looser, but not in a good way. Her arms looked thinner, her face a little more hollow. She felt weaker. Getting out of bed in the morning took more effort. Her doctor mentioned she was losing muscle mass, not just fat. And Margaret was confused. "But I'm eating healthy," she said. "I'm eating fruit. Here's what's really going on. Fruit is wonderful, it's rich in vitamins, antioxidants, hydration, all things your body needs. But what fruit doesn't have is enough protein or healthy fat. And when you eat just fruit in the morning, especially after a night of fasting, your body has to find energy somewhere. And if there's no protein or fat to burn, your body may start breaking down your own muscle tissue to keep itself going. This is especially dangerous for older adults. Because as we age, muscle loss isn't just easier, it's faster. The body becomes less efficient at holding on to muscle, so every meal, especially the first one of the day, becomes a critical opportunity to protect and nourish your strength. Eating just fruit, no matter how fresh, organic, or colorful, doesn't give your body what it needs to repair and rebuild. It's like trying to build a house with no bricks. Looks nice from the outside, but it's missing the foundation. And this isn't just about being frail. Muscle keeps you balanced, steady, mobile. It protects your joints. It supports your independence. Without it, even small tasks, walking to the mailbox, bending to tie your shoe, start feeling like challenges. There's a simple fix, though, and it doesn't mean giving up your fruit. Instead of eating fruit alone, pair it with something that adds strength to the plate. Spread peanut butter on a slice of whole grain toast. Add a scoop of cottage cheese or Greek yogurt on the side. Even a handful of almonds can make a world of difference. These combinations give your body the building blocks it needs: protein, healthy fats, fiber, all working together to keep you fueled, focused, and strong. Because the goal isn't just to eat fewer calories, it's to eat smarter ones. But what comes next might surprise you even more. It's a breakfast habit that many seniors have clung to for years, one that was once praised as healthy, but could now be quietly sabotaging your body's ability to stay strong, alert, and energized. Now let's take a look at a habit that might feel comforting, even classic. A tradition that many older adults hold close: a quiet morning, a steaming cup of black coffee, and maybe the morning paper in hand. That was Tom's routine. Every day, like clockwork. At 75, he believed keeping it light in the morning was the right thing to do. "I'm not much of a breakfast person," he'd say. "A little coffee is enough for me." And in some ways, it made sense. He didn't feel hungry. It was quick, simple, and didn't upset his stomach. But after a while, Tom noticed something strange. He felt lightheaded when standing up too quickly. He wasn't moving as easily. And at his last doctor's visit, he was told he had lost an inch of height. It caught him off guard. "I haven't changed anything," he said. But the truth is, he had. You see, while coffee can be a nice way to start the day, relying on it alone is where the problem begins. Coffee is a known appetite suppressant. It tricks your body into thinking you're not hungry. And it's also a natural diuretic, meaning it pulls fluids from your system. That combination, skipping food and losing hydration, can quietly rob your body of what it needs most first thing in the morning. After hours of sleep, your body wakes up needing to refuel. Muscles need amino acids to repair. Your brain needs glucose to function. Your bones need minerals to stay dense and strong. But if all you're giving it is caffeine and nothing else, you're running on fumes. Over time, that leads to muscle breakdown, imbalanced energy levels, and in many cases, increased risk of falls due to weakness or dizziness. It's easy to fall into the trap of saying, "I'm just not hungry in the morning." But that's not because your body doesn't need food, it's because your habits have trained your hunger signals to turn off. And as you get older, those signals become less reliable. You can't always wait until you feel hungry to eat, especially when it comes to protecting your strength. So, what can you do if you're one of those coffee-only folks? You don't have to cook a big breakfast. Even something small can help. Try adding a boiled egg, a piece of cheese, or a protein bar alongside your coffee. Or keep a jar of nut butter and whole grain crackers nearby. These little additions give your body protein, healthy fats, and something to hold on to. Because here's the truth, breakfast doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be functional. Your muscles, your bones, and your brain are all counting on it. Now, we've covered some pretty clear mistakes so far. Skipping protein, loading up on sugar, choosing fruit alone, or just sipping coffee and calling it a day. But the next one, this one's tricky. Because it's something many seniors turn to thinking they're making the healthiest choice possible. It's marketed as clean, smart, and safe. But when it comes to aging muscles, it can be a hidden trap. Let's talk about something that's become more and more common over the years, meal replacement shakes. They seem so convenient. No cooking. No chewing. No dishes. Just grab, sip, and go. And for many older adults, they seem like the perfect solution. Lillian, 81, started using them for just that reason. She had trouble chewing. Her dentures weren't fitting quite right, and the thought of preparing a full breakfast felt exhausting some days. So she bought a few of those pre-made nutritional shakes you see on store shelves. They say they have vitamins and protein, she told herself. This should be fine. But after a few months, Lillian noticed something wasn't right. She was getting tired faster during her morning walks. Her arms and legs were thinner. She had trouble lifting grocery bags or opening jars. Her energy was lower, and her muscles, slowly but surely, were shrinking. So, what happened? It turns out, not all meal shakes are created equal. Many of them are filled with sugar and artificial fillers. Some have barely any real protein. And even the better ones, when used the wrong way, can work against your body, not for it. You see, meal replacement shakes were never meant to replace real food entirely. They're designed to supplement your meals, not substitute every bite. When you drink only a shake in place of breakfast, your body misses out on important textures, fibers, and balance. Real food provides digestive signals that liquids alone can't. Chewing, for example, sends signals to your brain and gut that help regulate fullness and nutrient absorption. Shakes skip that entire step. And if the shake is low in protein, or high in sugar, that's a recipe for blood sugar spikes, followed by crashes, fatigue, and yes, muscle loss. Now, that doesn't mean shakes are all bad. In fact, they can be a helpful part of a healthy breakfast, especially when chewing is difficult or appetite is low. But the key is in how you use them. Look for high-quality shakes with 20 grams or more of protein and low sugar, ideally less than 8 grams per serving. And instead of relying on them alone, pair them with real, whole foods. You might drink half a shake and have it alongside a boiled egg, or pour it over a bowl of plain oats with chopped nuts. You could blend it with spinach, chia seeds, and a spoonful of nut butter to make it more balanced and filling. Think of the shake as a tool, not a total meal. Because your body still needs variety, texture, and nutrients that only come from real, whole food. Especially as you age. Especially when your goal is to stay strong, steady, and independent. So, if you've been depending on those breakfast shakes, take a closer look. What's in them? How are you using them? Are they really fueling your body, or just filling your stomach? Now that we've walked through these 5 hidden traps, habits that seem harmless, but slowly drain your strength, it's time to shift gears. Because knowing what not to do is only half the journey. Let's talk about what this all really means. Not just for today, but for your health, your energy, and your independence in the months and years ahead. It's tough, isn't it? Realizing that the very habits we've stuck to for years, maybe even decades, could be quietly working against us. That toast and tea, that quick cereal, that single cup of coffee in the morning, we thought they were just simple routines. Familiar. Comforting. Maybe even healthy. But behind the comfort, behind the routine, was something else. Something subtle. Something creeping. A slow loss of strength. A decline we didn't notice at first, until getting out of a chair felt harder. Until lifting groceries left us breathless. Until the energy that used to carry us through the day started slipping away. And that realization? It can be painful. Because none of us want to feel like we're losing grip. Nobody wants to think they're growing weaker with each passing day. But here's the truth, and I want you to hear this with your whole heart. You are not broken. You are not too late. And you are not powerless. This isn't about guilt. This isn't about blame. This is about knowledge. And knowledge, especially when it comes to your health, is one of the most powerful things you can carry. Because now you know. You know what's hiding in that innocent bowl of cereal. You know what that coffee-only breakfast might be costing you. You understand why your muscles need more than just fruit or sugar to stay strong. And that, my friend, is where change begins. Not in huge leaps. Not in perfect plans. But in small, quiet choices. The kind you make tomorrow morning when you step into your kitchen. Ask yourself, can I add something with protein to my plate? Can I cut down the sugar just a bit? Can I give my body the fuel it truly needs, not just to get by, but to thrive? Because here's what happens when you do, your muscles get the support they need to hold you up. Your energy lasts longer. Your balance improves. You stay steady, confident, independent. You see, staying strong in your later years isn't about chasing youth, it's about protecting the power you still have. It's about keeping the freedom to move how you want, do what you love, and live on your own terms. And that's what I want for you. You don't need a perfect diet. You don't need a complicated routine. You just need awareness, and the willingness to make those few small changes that can lead to a big difference. So tonight, before you head to bed, take a quiet moment. Think about your breakfast tomorrow. Picture your plate. Now ask, can I give my body something better? Because the truth is, it's never too late to start again. To care for yourself. To reclaim your strength. And to build mornings that support the life you want to keep living. You've come this far. You've earned the right to feel strong. And with just a little more intention, a little more care, you absolutely can. Let's take a moment to quickly go over what we've learned today, because the choices we make in the morning really do matter more than we think. We talked about 5 common breakfast habits that seem harmless, but quietly drain your strength. Skipping protein. Eating sugary cereals or granola that spike and crash your energy. Starting your day with only fruit or toast. Drinking just coffee and calling it a meal. And finally, relying too heavily, or improperly, on meal replacement shakes. Each one can chip away at your muscle health over time, but the good news is, every single one is fixable. That's the part we have to hold on to. No matter how long you've been doing it, no matter how deep the habit runs, it's never too late to make a shift. One thoughtful choice tomorrow morning could be the first step toward more energy, more strength, and more independence. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which one of these surprised you the most? Maybe you've already cut back on one, or maybe you've seen changes in your energy and didn't realize your breakfast was playing a role. Whatever it is, share it with me in the comments. I truly enjoy reading your stories. They help others too. You never know who your words might comfort or inspire. And if this video helped you see things a little differently, or made you stop and think about what's on your plate, give it a like, it lets me know these conversations matter to you. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. This channel is here to support you, every step of the way, with practical tips, heartfelt advice, and the knowledge you need to thrive in your golden years. We're building a community here. A place where seniors and their families can feel informed, encouraged, and never alone. Thank you for spending time with me today. It means more than you know. So, as you go forward, remember this: you are wise. You are capable. And your body, no matter your age, still deserves care, attention, and strength. Stay well. Stay strong. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.